Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If this is the first time you've discovered my channel, yay, you're here. I've been waiting for you. And if you are a returning subscriber, yay, thank you so much for coming back. My subscribers already know that my goal is to save you time and money by giving you the scoop on filmmaking quality and content so that you can decide whether or not you want to watch a movie and spend time and money doing so. So today the movie I'm reviewing is called Haunted Heart. This romantic drama premieres in theaters on Friday, September 27th, 2024. The film is rated R, and I'll give you some tips for parents here in a minute. It's 2 hours and 8 minutes long, which is a pretty long movie. My overall movie review mom grade is a C. Now let me explain why and how I came up with that grade. I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked, things I didn't like, tips for parents, themes worth talking about if you watch this with other people, funny lines, interesting lines, and we'll finish up with recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also really like or maybe even like better than this one. So first, in a nutshell, the story is about a young woman who gets a job on a Greek island in a restaurant. She falls in love with the restaurant's owner and slowly learns confusing things about him as their relationship slides into a tale of survival. The film was directed by Academy Award winner Fernando Trueba, who also co-wrote the screenplay with Ryland Grant. So quick tips for parents. There is some profanity in English and in Spanish, including F-bombs. Some Spanish is spoken without subtitles. There's talk of a man who people think might be gay. We see an unmarried couple in bed together, talk of drug use, and some bloody violence and deaths. We also hear some Greek, although it's less important to the story. And I don't speak Greek, I do speak Spanish, so that's how I know there's profanity in Spanish. I don't know if there's any profanity in Greek. All right, anyway, so some of the themes that are illustrated very well are fear, jealousy, trust, secrets, and surviving the past. So here's the list of things that I really liked about this film. First of all, fans of teenage heartthrob Matt Dillon will be happy to see him in something again. Can you believe he is 60 years old now? Crazy how fast time flies, right? I'd never seen the Spanish actress Aida Folch in anything before. She's an award-winning actress in Spain, but I couldn't stand her character in this movie. Now, I'm sure she's lovely in real life, I don't know, but the character drove me nuts, and I'll tell you a little bit more about her in a minute. Other cast members include additional international actors, Juan Pablo Urrego, Kika, and these are like Spanish names and Greek names mostly. Kika Giorgio, Yanis now here's a Greek one, Agrodopoulos, Marina Argropoulou, and others. I don't want to completely embarrass myself trying to pronounce all their names. At the 1 hour, 17-minute mark, we learn the intriguing origin of the title of the film. We get immersed in lovely Greek island culture. I had the great pleasure of finally touring Greece just a few years ago and absolutely loved the food, the landscapes, the history, of course, and the people. There's enough romance for the women and action for the men that both could enjoy it, watching it together as a date night. Now, onto the list of things that I didn't like or just thought could have been done better or differently. For example, I was expecting something much better considering the talent of the director, but I was a little bit disappointed and even surprised by some of the directorial choices. Some of the acting is very stiff. Now we've got the main leads and they were great. There are some extras and some side characters that obviously are not, Hollywood A-list celebrities. In the first 15 minutes, the unpleasant, entitled leading lady shows up days late for a job interview and immediately starts insulting everyone at the restaurant, swearing in Spanish and demanding a job at the location in Greece, even though she doesn't speak a word of Greece. Nice. That turned me off instantly. The boss shows her a tomato from the garden that's used at the restaurant, which she instantly grabs and bites into, and then criticizes the garden. And I'm like, Nice. We're supposed to be enamored with this protagonist. Not long after, she starts hitting on her boss and she basically throws herself at him. And I'm just thinking, nice. I was just immediately turned off from the character or by the character's personality. And it really didn't get that much better for me. Now, you may feel totally differently, but that's just how I took it. You want to root for these characters. And in both cases, there were just odd character quirks that I was like, I don't know that I think that they're great for each other or, that I would want to hang out with either of these people. Juan Pablo Urego plays a total douchebag. He constantly flirts with another girl right in front of his girlfriend. Then he makes out with a bride at her wedding. And again, I'm thinking, I don't think I'd want to spend time with this guy either. And he's another one of the major characters in the film. A lowly part-time waitress gets an apartment with a gorgeous view of the ocean. And I'm thinking, in what world would that happen? Really? Again, a lot of things I kept thinking, these are not very realistic scenarios, are they? The dialogue is painful. For example, somebody says, "What are you thinking?" Or, "That's a story for another time." And I'm like, okay, we could have had more riveting conversation than some of those cliched types of lines. Matt Dillon's character is super vanilla. He does a really great job, but this girl just throws herself at him as if he's this big prize, and he's this loner. He's sort of sulky and mysterious, and I'm thinking, why is she super attracted to him? Because he owns a restaurant? I don't know. In real life, Matt Dillon and Aida Fulch are 23 years apart. So I never quite believed their characters' romance just because of the age gap as well, especially because the young actress was being hit on by a guy who was probably closer to her age, but she was only interested in Friend. She friend zoned him instantly, and I was like, she's going for the older guy? I don't know. There are some night scenes that are super dark, making it really hard to see what's even going on in those scenes. A married woman who's having an affair with another man during her marriage cries to her friend saying, "There's someone else. What am I going to do?" And I'm thinking, oh, brother, who are these people? Where are the morals and integrity of any of these characters? The film is way too long. I just really didn't want to spend any more time with these characters. The film also has some tonal shifts, shifting from a slow burn romance and then turning into a violent thriller. The musical score doesn't really work with the emotions that we're supposed to be feeling in certain scenes. For example, sometimes it's really playful and it's telling us, oh, this is the light, funny moment of the movie. And yet I'm like, it's not that funny or light, really. We learn about Matt Dillon's character really finally in Act 3, but we never really understand his motivations for why he did what he did many years prior. And really, even the leading lady, we don't really know everything. We do learn some things, and she's young, and so I guess we're supposed to just say, okay, that explains all of that. Now, whenever I watch movies, I write funny lines and interesting lines, and I share them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. For the funny lines, I really didn't write down anything. This is a serious drama, but I did write down some interesting lines. For example, Alex, who's played by Aida Fulch, says, "What do I have to do to get you to notice me?" Because she's throwing herself at this guy. And then another line she says is, "Everything means nothing to me." And I guess we're supposed to think that's really deep. And then Matt Dillon gets very depressed and honest and vulnerable in a moment. And he says, "What's out there? What's waiting for us?" And they're both just like on the verge of suicide practically, and I'm like, oh. And then another line that Matt Dillon's character says is, "We both have our past. We both came here running from them." And I thought that that was a really good line because it speaks to the theme in the movie of dealing with your past, trying to make a future moving forward, and not hiding from mistakes and that kind of thing. So whenever I watch movies, I instantly think of other films. And so I wanted to recommend these. The first one is called Find Me Falling. And that's a romance by Netflix that just came out recently. I thought it was really good. The characters were a lot more believable and definitely more likable. And then another one is called Aloha. That one just showed up on Netflix recently, even though it's an older movie. I'd seen it many years ago. So when it came on Netflix, I watched it again just because I remember liking it, but I couldn't really remember anything about it. And it's got some flawed characters and some with a past, and I just thought it was kind of charming. And then another older one is called 6 Days, 7 Nights. Also, people dealing with past, trying to move forward in the future. There's comedy, romance, and action in that one. And it may have flown right under your radar because it's a bit of an older one. When I say older, I think maybe the 2000s. I can't remember how long ago that one came out. 2010, maybe even. Anyway, I will queue up Find Me Falling so that you can watch that as soon as you finish watching this review and see if that one looks fun and interesting. It's also in Greece and just fun to feel like you're learning about that culture through the movie. All right, that's it. I hope that if you watch this movie, you enjoy it. Comment down below. And by the way, all those movies are listed in the description below with links that'll take you right over there to them. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.